It's race week, everyone. The Canadian Grand Prix is on this weekend around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. But which drivers am I looking forward to seeing the most this weekend? Well, as always, I'm here to preview the event by looking at the 5 main drivers that have got interesting stories ahead of this weekend's Grand Prix. And we can't talk about the Canadian Grand Prix without one of the home heroes, the only home hero left in Formula 1 for the Canadians this weekend. That, of course, being Lance Stroll. Now, Lance Stroll was heavily rumoured to not be available for this race given the wrist surgery that he had after the Barcelona Grand Prix last week. Now, of course, since then, he is heavily rumoured to still be taking part. He has recovered sufficiently enough to be able to take part in this weekend's race, which, if that's the case, that is great. But personally, without going too much in depth, because I've already done that in a separate video, it does feel a bit too soon, I will be honest. That's pretty major surgery for a racing driver at the end of the day. But hey, we'll see how he gets on. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets on because, of course, last time this happened in Bahrain in 2023, he actually had one of the best results he had in the season, one of his best results, given everything that happened to him in Formula 1 as well. So, hey, Aston Martin need to get some points. Fernando Alonso got some points last time out in Spain, so we will see how he gets on. If indeed he does race, it's not confirmed 100%, but is apparently going to happen this weekend, so we'll see what happens with Lance Stroll. Next up, I want to talk about Sir Lewis Hamilton. Now, of course, he's coming off the back of what he described as his worst weekend ever in Formula 1 in Spain. He still managed to get 6th place, though, in that race, and Canada is, of course, one of his best tracks in Formula 1 history. He has, of course, won here 7 times, which is the joint most of all time with, of course, Michael Schumacher. But can he get back on form here? Well, Ferrari did get a podium last time out in the hands of Charles Leclerc in Barcelona, so we'll see how he gets on. He does do well around Canada over the years. If he's not on the top step of the podium, he's either on 2nd or 3rd usually, so I'm hoping for a better weekend for him because, yeah, he was very much upset, to say the least, after last week's race. But let's talk about Lando Norris next. Now, of course, it's only 10 points between him and Oscar Piastri at the top of the championship, but you do feel as though with how dominant Oscar Piastri was and how Lando Norris lost his P2 off the line, that he's going to need to do better this weekend. Norris, of course, got, I believe it was P2 last time out in 2024 at the Canadian Grand Prix. He got P2 last time out in Spain as well for the previous round of the championship. He needs a win and he needs it soon, and this is a good opportunity for him. He really should have won the Canadian Grand Prix last weekend. I think either McLaren messed up the strategy or he made a mistake or something. I don't know. It was a long time ago, and that was a crazy race in 2024 with all the rain being affected. So Norris will be hoping and praying for a better weekend in Montreal. But let's talk about our pole sitter from 12 months ago. Surprisingly, it was George Russell who set an identical time in qualifying to Max Verstappen, but he set that time first, so he started on P1. Mercedes, though, at the moment are looking pretty lackluster, not only in their lack of pace, but also the fact that their engines, particularly in the hands of Kimi Antonelli for some reason, really seem to be expiring at an alarming rate. Twice in the last 3 races and 3 in the last 3 if you can include Fernando Alonso, because of course Aston Martin, they have customer engines for Mercedes. His engine, of course, went bang in Monaco as well, and it's happened to Kimi Antonelli in one of his home races at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix and also in Barcelona too. Now, this is a really tough circuit in terms of the wear and tear on the car. The brakes get absolutely battered. It's one of the hardest on the engine as well. A very high fuel consumption because you've got a lot of long straights and also a lot of big braking zones as well, which does basically put more energy through the car. So, you know, Mercedes, they may well have to, kind of crank the wick down a little bit in this one. And this is not an unusual track for them to have mechanical failures. Even their relatively bulletproof car in 2014 had severe problems around this track. So Mercedes will be pretty wary coming into this Grand Prix in Canada. And the final driver I'm going to highlight is Carlos Sainz. Now, of course, Sainz, he's coming off a few bad weekends for Williams. It's not been a good time for them, really, in truth. Now, they are still solidly in 5th in the Constructors' Championship, and I expect them to convert that come the end of the season. But this is a track that should suit them. Again, it's a high-speed circuit. It's one where traditionally they do go quite well. And Carlos Sainz, I'm highlighting him in particular because although he has never won around Canada, he did come 2nd place here in 2022, of course, coming out on top in that epic duel between him and Max Verstappen for the lead of the race. So yeah, those are the 5 drivers I'm looking forward to seeing the most this weekend in Canada. Stroll not 100% confirmed to be taking part, but pretty much confirmed if you believe all the paddock gossip and rumours at the moment. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more like this, guys. Plenty more preview content coming your way for the Canadian Grand Prix. Thank you so much to everybody who's voted in the poll as well, which of course has just expired. The favourite race that you guys have highlighted for a in-depth look is the 1995 Canadian Grand Prix, where Jean Alesi won his only Grand Prix in Formula 1. So I'll be doing that in-depth. Probably it will be released sometime on Saturday. And yeah, see you soon, guys, for much more content like this on the world of Formula 1. Have a great day.